process.
The Florida Panthers are proud to select from the Kingston Frontenacs, Erik Gudbranson.
Well, he drafted Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook in Chicago.
And Nicholas Chalmerson as well, so he's pretty good with picking defensemen. Now, think about this if you're a fan of the Florida Panthers. Last year, they hit a home run with Dmitry Kulikov. They picked Keaton Ellaby 2 years ago in the first round, and they also have Colby Rollback of the Brandon Wheat Kings. Those are all top-end defensemen. Kulikov was already in the NHL. This guy's big, he's physical, he separates people from the puck, Bob. He clears the crease well. The one thing, Bob, that's missing, there's not a whole lot of offense there.
That's right. There may be some real offensive limitations to his game, but he projects as a big-time NHL shutdown defenseman. I'll tell you what, the kid's big, strong, physical. He's a good-looking kid, fluently bilingual in French. He's gone to French school his whole life. All the kids in his family, his younger brother Alex, who's the first-round pick of the Kingston Frontenacs, and will be joining Erik on the Kingston Frontenacs in the last OHL draft. And of course, we've talked at length about his younger brother Dennis, who recovered from leukemia, had a stem cell transplant 5 years ago, will be cancer-free on August 18th for the last 5 years. It's a big moment for, there's little Dennis right there, an absolutely terrific kid in the Gudbranson family, absolute diehard Montreal Canadian fans. That Wayne Gudbranson says, you know what, I'll wear the sweater of whatever team Erik's drafted by, but I'm only wearing it over top of my Montreal Canadian sweater because the only thing that touches my body is a Montreal Canadian sweater. You know, so there's his mom and dad.
That's a great moment, obviously, and this is a big person. This isn't a small guy. He's probably going to, he's at 6'4" right now, but he's probably going to play at around 225, 230. You can see he's dwarfing everybody up on the podium there. And the big thing, Gordon, Bob, now you look at the Ontario Hockey League. Taylor Hall goes 1, Tyler Seguin goes 2, Erik Gudbranson goes 3. The Ontario Hockey League is pumping out tons and tons of early round picks.
They are. And this was a tough year for him on the ice. He had a knee injury early in the season, saw him walking around the Oshawa Arena on crutches, sprained his knee, missed a few weeks there, and then he contracted mononucleosis, was not able to play in the prospects game, and by the time that he did come back, he played 41 of 63 games, but he never really regained his strength and his conditioning and his lost weight after the bout with mononucleosis, which contributed to a subpar under-18 World Championship for him in April.
Now, you saw the graphic earlier. Dale Talon has favored North American players, Canadians and Americans, when he's picking, and he continues that down in Florida. The rebuild will be significant, and the Panthers have made it clear that lots of other players might be available before things are done. Of course, free agency looming on July the 1st, but Talon likely not done there. As you mentioned, they could have as many as 3 first-round picks in this draft, as many as 8 in the top 100.
In the 2010.
Gudbranson is now a draft pick of the Florida Panthers as the Dale Talon regime begins there. And Dale Talon is there along with Gudbranson and our James Duffy.
All right, thank you very much, Gord. Well, I guess I can say it now. You told me quietly yesterday you hoped it was Florida, that you felt Florida was the best fit. Why and how exciting does that make this moment?
I mean, I've done my research. I've looked into the team. They've got a great young team. They've got a great staff, great management led by Mr. Dale Talon. And, you know, I felt that this was the best place for my development, and I want to win a cup there one day.
He's not kidding when he says he does his research. He's the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year. Your brother Alex was drafted by the Kingston Frontenacs, your junior team. So I'm going to ask you the question. You could play with him next year, but I'm going to guess that perhaps that's your second choice. No offense to your brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My goal is to make the National Hockey League next year and have a good season for the Florida Panthers.
40 years ago, Dale Talon was selected 2nd overall by Buffalo. Sorry to remind you that.
Scouting's improved since then.
Listen, this is the 6th straight year that you've picked a North American player in the first round. Does Erik just fit your prototype, your template?
No doubt. You know, the character is the #1 priority as far as drafting when I've been involved. And he has impeccable character besides all the skills, the physical and mental side of it. And we're tired of teams coming to Florida and coming down there for a vacation and having easy games. And with Erik and people like that in the lineup, it'll be a lot tougher to play.
You built a champion in Chicago.
Thank you.
Largely through the draft.
Yes.
Florida has now missed the playoffs 9 straight years. What's your timetable for getting the Panthers back in?
Well, very similar situation to Chicago. We're hopeful to do it quickly. You know, we're going to add some young players as well as some good veterans, solid veterans. And we're going to continue to do what's best and get better, and primarily through the draft. We've got 6 picks in the first 50 today, and we're going to continue to excel and do well scouting and drafting.
Tell us about the deal you made with Vancouver, the reasoning there.
Well, we want to get younger, we want to get bigger, we want to have more depth, and we want to continue to get more picks and build through the draft as we did before, and that's the blueprint.
You like Bernier and Grabner? Why?
Yes, they've got good speed, they've got different positions, they can play forward, that we need some forward position, we need depth up there.
Thank you, Dale. Eric, the guys mentioned it earlier. I know this is June 26th will go down as a huge day for your family, but it won't be the biggest day this summer for your family. Tell us why August 18th is.
Well, Dennis, my little brother who went through cancer treatment with AML leukemia, is going to be a complete cure, and you know, it's an absolute honor and a treat to have them all here today, and it made it twice as special.
We saw some of the shots when you were selected, and a very happy family. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the National Hockey League. The Columbus Blue Jackets are next at number 4 as you look at the Gudbransons. Thrilling moment for that